the Philadelphia Eagles are in preseason form. They look like a team that can't wait for week 1 to get here. They look completely disinterested, completely complacent. They need a switch. They're looking to flip the switch that is September 6th, the switch that's going to light up Lincoln Financial Field, the energy that's going to be felt throughout the entire fan base. It's going to reverberate around Lincoln Financial Field when they hang up the banner. That is the switch that's ready to be flipped. But right now, a 5-0 shutout by the Browns. Hell, maybe Michael Kendrick was right after all. All right. So before people, I'm sure, like there are those preseason people that are freaking out, I'm going to start with some good things, because there were some good things that I saw from Derek Barnett tonight. And I do not want people to forget what Derek Barnett did, because the defense, they did show up tonight. The offense did not. 4 turnovers, 3 more sacks allowed, 5 sacks allowed last week. Offensive line looks abysmal. Big V is a turnstile. He looks awful. Anyway, back to the good stuff. All right, Derek Barnett. So something that I talked about before preseason began and in my preview videos, Derek Barnett, can you add the second move? I already know that you can bend the edge. You're like Gumby. The balance you have is incredible. The way you can bend and rip and get near the ground without losing your momentum or losing your balance is incredible. But I want to see some other things. And tonight, he showed some other things, some other pass rush moves in the arsenal, just slicing into the backfield. The bull rush he had on the holding penalty on the 4th down it was. So I liked what I saw from him and some other things. So the fluidity and awareness and recognition he showed in coverage, dropping back and picking up the crossing David Njoku on the tackle. And then there was one more where he showed some, I guess he showed a nose for the ball. There was a screenplay, chases down from behind. It was like a no gain. Derek Barnett, big night tonight, and some positive strides forward from him. So I want him to be the spotlight tonight. Him. And the other spotlight. Okay. So coming into the night, I was like, okay, I guess maybe the Eagles are just going to keep 5 wide receivers, because there hasn't been a guy that's emerged to be the 6th guy. DeAndre Carter showed something, but tonight he showed a little bit more. And if the Eagles do keep 6, a decision that's going to be tough now for Doug Peterson because of some other things on the roster, and one of those being the tight end spot, Richard Rodgers, and he's going to be out for the first couple weeks or whatever, and you want a tight end on there, maybe they do that. So you keep 4 tight ends. I don't know. Or maybe they keep somebody off the street. But DeAndre Carter, so he made some plays tonight. He had the out and up route. He made some receptions. But not only just the receptions, the things that he did in the return game, the punt return game. He had a 29-yard punt return as well. So if there is going to be a 6th guy on the roster at the wide receiver spot, look for it to be DeAndre Carter. And this was the night, a perfect night for him. His 5th team out of Sacramento State. He was undrafted in 2014. And he showed some quickness. He showed some elusiveness. So maybe he makes his football team. He maybe sneaks on this football team. It depends what the Eagles want. Do they want a veteran come week 1? If they're worried about some injuries, do they want a veteran? Would they prefer a Kamar Aiken or a Marcus Wheaton? Or do they want to take a chance on somebody like a DeAndre Carter? Maybe they think there's some untapped potential. And maybe they think they can get it out of him. I mean, Marcus Wheaton hasn't played. Kamar Aiken, what has he shown? Why not give him a chance? 15, DeAndre Carter. So next week is going to be the most important week of his life. 4th preseason game. It matters for some people. All right. I guess we can get on to the bad now. There's something about, again, there's differences between the regular season and the preseason. And I want to talk about Big V now. You see, when there's like a matchup, like a Myles Garrett or there's going to be somebody in the regular season. If, say Jason Peters does go down at some point, we'll see about that situation. But obviously we hope for the best with Jason, want him to be healthy for the entire year. But let's say something does unfortunately occur and Big V is thrust back into the left tackle position. If he faces somebody like a Myles Garrett or somebody that is more on the elite side of the edge rusher rankings or up there, the Eagles are going to play it differently than they did tonight. Halapoulivaati Vaitai, Big V, the preseason, again, it's vanilla. And if you want to sprinkle on a couple jimmies on that vanilla Sunday for the regular season, you're going to give Big V a little help, maybe a little chip block, maybe the halfback helps out because, Wendell Small was the one starting tonight. He's terrible at pass protection. He's not going to be the one helping Big V out that situation. Oh, cool. The running back spot, I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, back to the point, and it illustrates it. So in a regular season game, you're going to see Big V get a little bit more help. The tight ends might help him out. So he'll get some double team help, whatever the case might be. So that's something that you would see. And tonight, it's like if he's going to be the left tackle of the future, well, he's got to be a guy that's got to stop seeing, I don't want to see the double teams anymore, the chip blocks. You need to be a guy that can protect my blind side, my cornerstone quarterback's blind side. And if you need chip blocks, you're not my left tackle of the future. So there you go. All right, so I just, again, didn't look promising for him. 5 sacks allowed by the offensive line last week. 3 more, 5 in the first half, I should say. 3 more in the first half tonight. So 8 in 2 games and 2 halves of football total, and you only had 2 in the postseason. So that pressure, Nick Foles, again, he didn't look good tonight. And, sometimes with the pressure, the reason why he needs that offensive line to play well, when it does break down and things like Big V happen, he gets into that backpedal mode, right? We've seen that before. And that's when he kind of lets the ball get away from him at times. Well, tonight he threw a couple ducks, and one of those ducks was an interception. He still went like 13 of 17, but a lot of short passes, a lot to Zach Ertz and the tight ends and stuff, and not much downfield per se, although Carter had that 29-yard reception on the out and up. So you had the one where you just a duck to the left side, and then the bad one along the goal line. So again, it's like Nick Foles is in preseason form. He just looks disinterested. It's just I'm not taking as much stock in this as I'm sure a lot of other Eagles fans are. Again, when the switch is flipped, the lights get on bright, and Lincoln Financial Field is going crazy, the regular season is here, I don't think it's going to look like this. I just don't. That's even if, Carson Wentz might even play week 1. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, back to some other things. Let's see. What else happened tonight? Oh, the running back spot. So it was Wendell Smallwood who saw the bulk of the carries in the first half. So they're really giving him a shot to be the 4th guy. And Josh Adams' first carry, which came at the 2:30 mark of the 3rd quarter, I believe, his first carry was better than anything Wendell Smallwood did tonight. Josh Adams, to me, is the 4th guy on the roster, 4th running back. I'm just not seeing anything. I mean, Matt Jones had a fumble again tonight. So 3 drops last week, fumbled tonight. Wendell Smallwood, I'm just not seeing it. So Josh Adams, again, not really much else to say there. I believe it was Sidney Jones who got the start at the nickel spot, and Nathan Jerry the start at the weak side spot. So, again, it just shows it's Nate Jerry fits the scheme better. Again, it goes back to what they're probably going to do during the regular season. You're going to see about 35 to 40% the snaps divvied up to Jerry at the weak side spot. If they elect to go with him as the starter, it looks like that's where they're going to go. They drafted him as a weak side linebacker, even though he was a safety at Nebraska. So this is something, again, the Eagles are kind of doing. Malcolm Jenkins playing some linebacker. They're getting smaller, more coverage-based. They're fitting their defense in with the times. This is where the game is going. It's getting smaller, quicker, faster. Receivers are freaking fast as hell right now. So you need guys like a Jerry. It's those big, bulky linebackers aren't really needed anymore. So there you go. Let's see. What else? This game was just freaking atrocious. It was a preseason game. It was 5-0. I guess I'm not really going to lament on it further. I'm not freaking out about anything. Again, if I see this on September 6th, all right, then I'll just start being a little bit more worried. But this preseason is just reminding me of Week 17. Just nobody cared. Everyone was just waiting for the playoffs to come at that point. And then the playoffs came, and then the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So this is kind of the same thing. The preseason was Week 17, except there's 4 games instead of the Week 17 game. We're just waiting to get to the regular season. The switch. Just waiting for it to be flipped. And then once it's flipped, off to the races. All right, those are my thoughts on the game tonight. I'm Adrian. Thank you. I'm out. See ya.